Hey there, Mercedes fans. Get ready to double your knowledge on the ultimate plug-in hybrid, the 2025 GLC 350e 4MATIC. Yes, this isn't just a quick spin. We're going all in on this car's tech, so buckle up for a deep dive like no other. Because today, we're going to cover everything that makes this hybrid SUV an awesome buy. Now, if you didn't know, the 350e combines serious power with some eco-friendly vibes. We're talking about a turbo i4 engine paired with a 134 horsepower electric motor. That combination is a wild 313 horsepower and a whopping 406 pound-feet of torque. It's got the muscle to take off whenever you need it, but it can also cruise quietly on electric power for up to 54 miles. Perfect for a daily drive that feels right out of 2029 without the range anxiety, right? Step inside and you'll see the MBUX 3.0 system is a total game changer. It's got responsive tech, intuitive voice controls, and you'll stay connected and entertained without taking your eyes off the road thanks to our safety suite. Over the next 70 minutes, we're going to explore all the exciting details. We'll check out the smooth hybrid tech, top-notch safety features, and we're going to explore that classic Mercedes style that always turns heads. So, charged up? Let's hit the road and let's see why the GLC 350e is your ticket to the future of driving. Let's roll! But first, this video was made possible by the friendly people at Crown Eurocars, proudly serving the Tampa Bay, St. Pete area for more than 60 years now. We are your Mercedes superstore. We offer premium used cars and pickup trucks and exotics that you can't find anywhere else. See the link in the description. Now back to the video. Hi guys, welcome to another tech video. Today we're going over a brand new 2025 GLC 350. We're used to the 300s, but today we're in a hybrid car. This is a plug-in hybrid. You have a 25 kilowatt battery and a 2.0 four-cylinder engine. The result right now is, well, 19 miles all electric, 72 miles all gas, because both are not full. But that's okay. When you actually have this thing filled up with electricity, you can go about 60 miles all electric, and combined range is over 350 miles all in. It's a really cool car, but today we're going to go over what makes it tick. So we're going to talk about the infotainment, we're going to talk about Hey Mercedes, and we're going to talk about all the hardware, all the software, as if you've never ever been in one of these before. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a like, and a share. And please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm going to try and post content weekly. Let's dive right in, though, with a hardware check. So, of course, we have our main display. It's touchscreen MBUX 3.0. It's really responsive, really quick. You have, of course, multi-touch. You can touch here to control everything. It's kind of like a mouse right there. And the screen itself, you can either touch or control with your voice. Climate controls are only on this bottom part of the screen right here. So no physical redundancies for climate control. Your only buttons are actually down here. Dynamic will be your drive modes. You'll start in electric, you have hybrid, sport, individual, battery hold, and the beloved off-road mode, which never ever gets appreciated like it should. You also have a camera shortcut down here to see your 360 camera. As you can see, we are delicately blocked in this dealership array, all in the GLC section. This is your battery management page. We'll come to that one later. This is your vehicle shortcut access right here. Your quick access page, I should say. Four-way flashers, fingerprint reader, power, mute, volume is a slide function right here. You also have similar controls on your steering wheel. Volume, you slide up and down. Answer, hang up, voice control. Star is going to be recent calls now. It no longer is a favorite menu in this car. A little strange. You have your redundancy number one right here. This controls everything on your main display. While you have the same formula over on the left, this controls your instrument cluster. And if you slide up and down, it's just kind of like a mouse. Hit home, and you can see all of your possible choices here. Most people just stay on classic, but if you make a selection, back button will always bring you back to your main display right there. Beneath that, you have your cruise control settings, on and off, set your speed, resume and cancel. You also have your phone control settings on the other side. Answer, hang up, volume, voice control, favorites. I think I already said that one. Over here, this car has heated and cooled seats, dual zone memory for the driver and passenger, lovely aluminum switchgear, the Burmeister sound system, your light switch is down there, parking brake release is right here, and down here you have your fuel door filler and your trunk opener. And you only have this because this car is a hybrid car. This car has hands-free access, pretty spacious trunk, and you actually have a tiny bit of underfloor storage here. And I say tiny, I mean tiny. It's here though. And this is the one trade-off, is that you have a slightly higher trunk than you would in a gas version. Also, all of these come with a mobile flex charger. And any of these 2024 or newer should have a Webasto mobile flex charger. This is part of your lease equipment, so it does have to come back when you turn in your lease if you're leasing one of these. And what you get in here is, of course, your charger itself. Well, I think it's 20-foot cord, a J1772 charging cord or charging inlet for your car. You also have your choice of 240 volt power or 110 volt power. This is for any traditional outlet. This is for a NEMA 1450 dryer style outlet. And the key here is to make sure that it is firmly inserted into this charger. If there's any issues, it will turn orange. Otherwise, flashing blue is charging, solid blue, fully charged. If you run into any flashing orange lights with this and you're using 110 power, it might be because your cord is not properly grounded. Otherwise, try a different outlet. Make sure you have the proper grounding for this. This is 35 amps maximum, so it is not going to be the fastest charger. This is mostly for convenience. If you're taking a trip, keep this in your car. Charge your car whenever you're not using it. And that's that. I'll show you. But this is lease equipment. So if you do not have one of these and you have a brand new car, make sure you contact your dealer. Moving on. You have your fuel filler here. And we have your hybrid battery charging system here on the driver's side, just so you know. This is going to be your level 1, level 2 charging. This is what you'll do at home. And if you ever go to a fast charger to charge this, you can go to any station that supports CCS charging. No NACS port here because plug-in hybrid. Most of your charging will be done at home, ideally, but you can always get a Tesla adapter if you choose to. And this button right here will be your release. This car secures any charger that you plug into it in place so that we can prevent any random disconnects. Push here before you unplug. Simple. Before we start going over the tech in this car, it's very important that you have your Mercedes Connect account and your Mercedes Charge Public turned on to get the most out of this car. All of the features that I'm going over and all of the little screens, you might not even see them. So it's very important to call your dealer if you don't have your Mercedes Charge Public set up. And if you don't have a dealer, then please feel free to contact Crown Eurocars. We can activate your Mercedes account for you. We can connect your car, clear out the last user, and we can also set up your Mercedes Charge Public for you. Now, back to the video. All right, so we're going to start this tech demo now, and we're going to start with the very most basic thing you should do. Do you see this icon up here? Very important that you get logged into your Mercedes account. Like I said, if you don't have one of these, please see your dealer or contact Crown Eurocars. But if you do, please choose your profile name and please enter your Mercedes PIN. So,
Hi, Mercedes-Benz.
and this is the Mercedes welcome page. It's going to walk you through your preferences one by one just to make sure you have a good initial experience. First thing, they want to have your height so they can move your chair to suit your height. Hit start positioning. Sometimes it gets you close. It thinks everybody is 50-50, and so you can stop it up there like I just did. Once you do get your seat preference dialed in, though, it's very important that you save whatever position you like. So, to do that, you just hit M first, number 1. If you hear the beep, it means you are successful. Sometimes you might turn on your heated seats, so just make sure you know where you're touching this. Option number 2 is your PIN or your profile access preference. I usually tell people that unless you want to use your fingerprint reader every day, just set it to be a freely accessible profile. Having this set won't stop the car from being driven. It'll just make sure that no one can access your preferences and your data. Next one is going to be your display name, your username. It's going to say this name at least once a day, and so I tell people have some fun.
Hi, bro.
Next one, do you want the car to make recommendations? It can recommend places to go, people to call, and music to listen to. And it can do it on the screen or verbally. It can announce some of these suggestions as well. Choose wisely. Next one, home address. Do you want to be able to tell your car to take you home? And if you do, just enter your address or hit current position if you're doing this at home. And then the last one is connecting your phone. Because I'm using my phone, we're going to leave it unconnected, but you would go here, make sure you're on your Bluetooth discovery page, and it will show up here. You select your phone and you'll be connected. And this car has wireless CarPlay. Finally, for Mercedes, it took us a pretty long time to get it. Wireless CarPlay or Android Auto as well. After that, they're going to want you to set up your fingerprint. You hit setup. This part is optional, and they want you to subtly change your angle, and you're just tapping this. Every tap, just kind of change the angle, and then at the last point, you'll have that configured. And very last question, if you want to choose between 0-layer display and your classic display. If you don't have Mercedes navigation, it will default over to classic. But we're going to do 0-layer for now. Hit finish, let's go, and we are all set. So, 0-layer looks like this. You'll see your navigation in the background. Down here, you'll have your audio, your phone connection, and this will be suggested content. So right now it's an intro on how to use features in the car. If I don't like anything it suggests, I can just slide up to dismiss it, and it will come up with something later. If I hold home here, I can change my display from 0-layer to classic. I can go to classic here. It's a little more basic in appearance, and you're doing a lot more sliding to see the things you want to see. But this view is good for somebody who might only use the phone, navigation, and radio. They don't really care about the apps or any of the advanced features. But if you want the most out of your car, 0-layer is the way to do it. Your navigation is always going to be in your background. And if you hit home, you'll see the rest of your all the rest of your functions, really. Radio, media, routines, settings, app store, comfort phone, and you'll see any extra items here as well. Apps like Vivaldi, you might see YouTube Web populate eventually, Disney Plus. These are the benefits of MBUX 3.0. And we'll start with navigation now. If you want to go anywhere, all you have to do is say, "Hey Mercedes." It will populate and you can tell it where you want to go. We can go to where to, and we can type in any destination we like. This navigation is actually hooked up to Google, and so we can type in anything and it will fill in for us pretty quickly. Let's try this. So just looking for any sushi place. It's showing us good places, 4.8, 281 reviews. Gives you the hours, and wow, Monday through Wednesday, they're closed. That's how you know they're good. But yeah, ooh, that looks nice. But we can also use our voice control for this function as well. So I can say, "Hey Mercedes, find a nice sushi restaurant."
I found these restaurants. Where do you want to go?
Now, if you're using this system,
Let's go.
it just
Please
takes you.
proceed to the highlighted route.
So you're taking Mercedes' word for it when it gives you those qualifiers. Still, I find that nice with any restaurant gives you 4 stars and above. And right now, it is navigating us up Highway 19, so it's not really showing much. But if we select up here, we can actually see our turns here. We can choose alternative routes as well. I could have chosen a more dynamic path, but that's okay. If we start this one,
Please proceed to the highlighted
it'll
route.
recalculate, and if I choose here, I'll see all the steps involved with getting there. And if I need to cancel the navigation at all, I could either say, "Hey Mercedes, cancel navigation," or flag with the X.
Just canceling route guidance now. The route is being calculated.
I
Please
can
proceed to
also
the
hit the flag with the X up here to cancel navigation. So it's super simple, super easy, and just know that when you have your active Mercedes app and you're in your free trial of that first year of Mercedes service, you'll actually see flow of traffic and connected car information showing up as well. So potholes, accidents, traffic. Your car will get this information from other Mercedes drivers on the road, and it will display it to you on your maps in real time. We're going to move on from navigation right now. Starting with the audio, the entertainment, we have these two right here. And this will always be your audio. This will always be your phone connection. You can go here, connect new devices. And when you have your phone connected, you can go home, media, Bluetooth, and whatever you play on your phone will come out of these speakers. But of course, we also in this car have a radio. You have AM. You also have FM and Sirius XM. They all kind of work the same. You just slide until you find something you like. You can also use your steering wheel controls to control whatever you see on this screen. But when you find a station you like, let's go to Bob Marley Radio. You can then, I hate how laggy this radio is, by the way. You can then touch the star to save any favorites. And down here, if you touch this, this will be where your favorite stations live. Because this car is an MBUX 3.0 car, the logic for the Sirius XM is a little different. So just as I've said in previous videos, this favorites up here will only show you AM and FM stations. To see your satellite radio favorites, you click down here in this poorly labeled area. This is where you'll see whatever's coming next in general. You can also see suggestions, so the car recommends different radio stations for you. And it will also recommend different categories, and you can explore all of the categories you have right here as well. But it's a little annoying. They have a history tab. Well, this is just for your personal history. This is a little annoying because it's just cumbersome to get to. But down here, you have your favorite stations. You can see all the stations here, just your favorites here. And if you want to search for a station and you can't find what you like, one of the good things about this connected radio is that since SiriusXM has acquired Pandora, you can search for different types of stations. Let's just show you. Post Malone. So there's obviously no Post Malone station, so we can get you close with Flex 2K. Oh, that's terrible. Or you can go to Pandora Post Malone station. And if you hit this, it will bring up, well, a dedicated Pandora station for Post Malone. And you don't need an account to do this. All you need to do is make sure you have your Mercedes Connect active. You have Post Malone right here. If you save it, you will save it with your existing favorites for SiriusXM. One of the downsides is when you're in this interface, it's not explicitly clear how to get back to your other stations. And so what I found that you have to do, you can go to For You and you can get back to some of these stations here, but easier is just to go to a station that you saved previously. Now you're back on the regular radio. How do you get back to it again without typing in Post Malone into the search bar? Well, you go here again, it's in your favorites. If you save any FM and AM stations, it's very traditional. You will see them all saved right in favorites. This is where you'll see your traditional layout. So you can see your two favorites here. And then down here, you can just see your favorites. It's a little strange, but when you have everything set up, the good news is that down here, this minimized view, if you expand on it, you can see your FM favorites. You can go to sources, SiriusXM, and this should bring up your Sirius favorites. One day, maybe. Down here, hit this, and these are your SiriusXM favorites right there. A little disappointed with how laggy it is, to be honest, but this is what it should work like, and you should be able to slide down here to see some recommended stations based on what the car's learned about you and your listening history as well. Also, if you want to adjust how your audio sounds, you can just adjust the volume here and then hit the settings icon. Takes you to entertainment, or you can go here, settings icon, and this is your audio. Well, this is your equalizer settings, basically. Your equalizer settings. First and foremost, you have sound profiles. And if you do nothing else in this car, if you put it on 3D sound, your sound will thank you. Your sound will sound amazing. You'll have amazing audio quality in this car just by doing one thing. But if you want to get into the weeds, you can change your bass, mid-tones, and treble here. You also have the ability to adjust your balance and fader, so you can move it all around the car, dynamic range control. You also have sound focus, so you can optimize sound quality for your desired seats. If you optimize it for the rear, this is typically good if you listen to a lot of bass heavy beat driven music, and if you listen to a lot of vocal driven entertainment, so like lighter music, talk radio, audiobooks, you would want to optimize it for the front. If you turn it up, optimize it for the rear. And if you really want to get this thing bumping, you do your personal sound profile. What this is a little questionnaire, and this will ask you your preferences for different types of sound. Let's get this going. So we're hitting start here. First thing it wants is your preference for low frequency sound. We can't really do this to the degree that I would like and preserve good audio quality, but let's see what happens when we move the microphone around. Next is high frequency sound, and we can adjust this freely as well. You can also use your volume adjustment to adjust this more incrementally. Same thing from the volume on the steering wheel. I know you can't see it right now. We'll leave it low so that this video doesn't sound washed out. Next one is your balance between these two at a normal volume. So if you want higher pitch or lower pitch frequency emphasis. And the next one is what you find to be a low setting. This is a pretty extensive questionnaire, and you get to adjust your balance, and this is all for a point. Next up is the beat. We'll leave it as is. And then next is your personal sound profile. I find that this matrix here always sounds a little washed out until you move it. Again, the point here is to get your preference in the, well, the, we'll get back to this preference. But you can adjust this preference here however you like. This is where it placed me initially. This is where it can be. And the last one is going to be your adjustment for surround sound and 3D sound. Basically, vertical, horizontal sound distribution. And the very last one is your bass characteristics. I always do one of these two. Here's the original. Here's my bass head version. That was your personal sound profile, a little 10-part questionnaire devoted to making sure your audio system sounds amazing. And since sounding amazing is subjective, it's all on you. It is personalized. And my favorite part is this is entirely dependent on the profile. So different profiles can have different personal sound profiles. Little thoughtful bit from Mercedes. I think this makes up pretty nicely for the terrible radio interface. Really, the terrible Sirius XM interface. But let me know what you guys think about this feature. You have to live with it after all. So that's the in-car entertainment in a nutshell. Next up, entertainment-wise, you have apps. And in here, you have a couple of little games that you can play. These are mostly to pass time while you're charging your car if you do have to use public charging. But this is just a little Mercedes game. Every Mercedes model has something like this where you have to like play some sort of matching game. Not really going to waste too much time doing this. Just know that in these cars you have a couple of games you can play, and in the App Store, which is next to it, right here, store, this is where you can get more games. Now, one of the big things with MBUX 3.0 is that this is the first Mercedes to support third-party apps. So if you go to the store here, you can of course see your digital extras. Right now they're offering another year of Mercedes Connect, but you also have various apps that you can use. And by use, I mean download. Now, here's the thing. If you want to download these apps, you first need something called the Mercedes-Benz In-Car App Pass. And this is a digital extra that you have to pay for immediately. If you go to here, You can't even purchase it in the store right now. You have to purchase it separately from your online Mercedes Connect portal. So a little shameful there that you can't do it directly from the car, since you can see this in the car. But yes, you have to purchase the in-car app pass to make use of any of these games here. Not that you're going to be really doing this in your car. Next to store, though, you have comfort, and people do use this feature a lot. And under comfort, you have two options. You have seat, which gives you seat kinetics and automatic seat positioning. This is where you can put your height in, hit start positioning, and it moves your chair to suit your height. You also have a feature called seat kinetics, and this is great. It actually will move your chair to keep you engaged on a long trip. It works for both the driver and passenger, and if you hit settings, you can choose which parts of the seat are actually in motion. Now, we're going to turn it off for now. But this feature is great should you start to get fatigued on a long road trip, or if your back hurts and it's starting to cramp up from sitting in the same place the whole time. This will just give you a little bit of extra motion in your seat, keep the blood circulating. And cool thing, you can choose how long it does what it does, between 16 minutes and 96 minutes. We'll leave it at 96 minutes. It's a great feature, again, for long trips. It just keeps your body moving, even when you're not moving. Next to your seat settings, though, you have the comfort menu called ambient lighting. And everyone knows the ambient lighting. Let's zoom out a little bit. So great place to see it is in the vents, especially at night. Right now it's daytime, super hard to see, but the ambient lighting is throughout the cabin, in the vents, in the sunroof area, armrests, door panels, front seat, back seat, footwells, everywhere. And this can be customized. You have 64 different individual colors, or between 10 and 12 multicolors, depending on your trim level. In this car currently, because we have the AMG line exterior, we have 12 different colors for the ambient lighting: ocean blue, red moon, Venice pink, and then you got cyan, yellow, racing orange. And all of these will change colors in subtle ways based on, well, just based on the car's programming and the one you choose. Some of these are going to combine 3 or 4 different colors. Some of them are only going to be like 1 or 2 colors, but it's a great feature, sets the vibe. The only downside is it doesn't work with the voice control. So voice control only works with solid colors. You could say, change the ambient lighting to red.
Red. Nice and warm.
It gets that. So that's good. That's the ambient lighting in a nutshell. One thing we're missing out on is the effect where the ambient lighting can change with the beat of the music. It's not even an option here, only available right now on the E-Class with the Burmeister sound system. But it's a great feature, great sound system. We're going to move on from comfort now, and we're going to go to a weird option called routines. So, routines. I've actually made a video on this feature devoted to routines, and like only 5 people watched it, so I guarantee not that many people will be using this in the car, especially if you just use your car as a car. But routines is kind of cool in premise. What it does is it lets you automate certain features in your car, and you do so by defining a condition and an action, or cause and effect. What you do first, you go to conditions, and they can be time of day, a location, a temperature, or a vehicle item being used, such as a certain speed being hit, a sunroof being open, a window being open. And what you can do is, if you have your window open, then the action could be to turn on your seat ventilation. And this one is going to be super easy to illustrate. We're going to give it a symbol and a name. We'll call it window seat. And now, under my routines, this is here. And it's going to start automatically. It'll show us up here. So if I open my window, You see this? It's going to start turning on my cooled seat. But my seat is now being cooled. And you can set this up however you like. I'm just including this just for an illustrative purpose. If you want to delete one of these routines that you've created, you can just go to the little pencil here and little trash can up there. You can just hit delete and it's deleted. So that is routines. Now, next to routines, we have settings. But on this next page, we have a bunch of extra stuff. And before we get into settings, I want to cover this hybrid system in detail. So we are now on the hybrid system page. You can access this by hitting this button on the bottom with the little battery. Brings you to the first part, so you only have two options here. Or if you go home on the second page, you can go to hybrid, and this gives you more information. Mostly the same functions though. So here we can set maximum and minimum states of charge for the battery. You can also see your current level, current range. You can choose and define different charging programs for home or work, depending on if you're at a certain location. You can have it automatically unlatch the charging cable once it's done charging. This menu also lets you turn on and off fast charging. I think it's interesting that when fast charging is on, you have a maximum of 55 kilowatts. With fast charging off, you have a maximum of 20. It's interesting because both of these are not groundbreakingly fast. And, well, most EVs charge about 150 kilowatts per hour on average, so it's not that fast at all. But this is here. And one thing that I do love is that you can schedule charging pauses. So what this means is that when you get home after work, let's say you get home at 5 o'clock, you get home, you plug the car in, and you can then set it to start charging at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. obviously. And you could, of course, have it start or stop charging at any time that you find is convenient for what we call off-peak charging. This is a time where electricity in your area is less in demand. If you're charging during peak hours, you're going to see peak rates, peak expense. This is the most expensive way to charge your car. But if you charge it when electricity demand is lower, your bill, in theory, could be lower. This depends on your provider. And some providers will actually give you money if you can charge your car at a less demanding time for them. They can give you rebates. Some EVs and hybrids can even give back to the grid. This one can't, but this is a step in the right direction. This lets you have control of when you charge your car to fit your lifestyle without even touching the car. It's plugged in when you got home. That's why I love charging pauses. And you can do this from the app too, to a certain degree, mostly just charging or pausing. But right here, this gives you a leg up on even our base EQB EV. It's a dedicated EV, doesn't let you do this. Our dedicated G580 EV doesn't let you do this. But this little GLC 350E does. So that's a step in the right direction, Mercedes. Good job. You can also schedule charging departure times, and you can open your charging port door as well. This is also where you can see what your hybrid system is doing. If you're driving around and you're on this screen, you'll see energy leaving your engine going to the wheels, or leaving the engine going to the battery, or leaving the battery going to the wheels, or vice versa, whatever's going on with your car in the state of charge. Really, this is where you can see it. Toyota kind of pioneered this with the first generations of Prius, and some people like seeing what their car is up to. I'm one of those people, actually. Next to that, you have vehicle. This is going to be your balance of acceleration and braking, your steering angle, your angles of ascent and descent. I do love that this turns as I'm turning the wheel, though. So it's kind of cool. Next to that, you just have your engine, horsepower and torque breakdown. And we can't talk about this hybrid menu without talking in detail about your drive modes, which this switch right here brings you briefly to this screen, and you'll see your different drive modes. Of course, EL is electric, H is hybrid. These two drive modes will do basically the same 95% of the time, because if your car doesn't keep up with the demands based on electric power alone, it will kick over to the gas engine. And that's why they're very similar, same color even. Next, you have B. B is called battery hold. The goal here is to maintain the state of charge by not using your battery. But as you can see, nothing happened. The engine did not kick on or anything like that. I've changed the camera angle here to illustrate what happens if you hit this button and put it into sport mode. If you want your engine on immediately, all you have to do, kick it over to sports, engine turns on. And as you can see over here, your tachometer becomes active. You can rev your engine, and it's actually the best way to make sure that your engine gets its time running. Give it a tune-up with your foot, put it in sport mode, let the engine run for at least 5 minutes, give it some power, put it in sport mode, have your engine run at least once a month. Take care of your car. This right here gives you the full horsepower that they advertise on the window sticker. And once you're done having fun, you can put it back into electric mode or hybrid mode. And interesting, even though we're back in hybrid mode, the engine is still on. And the engine's going to stay on for as long as the car feels like it should. It's good to think of these drive modes as mere suggestions to the car. Yes, you want to be in electric mode. If it suits what the car needs, it might comply. Otherwise, it might not. It might take some time before it does shift all the way over to electric mode. I tell people this car knows what it needs. If it wants to be on electric and the conditions are right, it will go over. If the conditions are not right for electric, then it won't. But that's modern cars for you. So we're back in hybrid. There's electric. Battery hold maintains the current state of the battery. Then you have this off-road mode. And off-road, you have to select if you want to activate it first, and you have a settings gear up here. This lets you choose whether or not you can use electric power when you are in off-road mode. If you don't, your engine comes back on pretty quickly, just like it does in sport mode. But if you leave this on, then your car can off-road with zero emissions. Also here, and we're in settings for this, you have access to your individual mode. If you push this all the way to the right, you get to your individual mode, and you can configure it with this little settings gear. Right now, we are in hybrid mode with comfort steering and comfort traction control, ESP. But we can change it to sport steering and sports traction control. This way we can let the tires chirp a little bit. We're going to come back to this menu. But for now, that's what dynamic does. That's your drive mode selection. But there is also a dedicated off-road screen, because people are going to take this hybrid luxury SUV off-road. What this menu has in it is a compass, which a lot of people are looking for without the off-road stuff. But this is where you'll see your compass, so you can see which direction you're heading. You also have your angle of ascent and your yaw. You have your different tire pressures, geo coordinates, tire temperature, your engine data. You can configure these left and right screens to be whatever you want them to be. You'll see your elevation here, useful if you're checking out houses to buy in Florida. And down here, you have a couple of different options. This first option is called the transparent hood. This is basically going to see you what is underneath your car. And it does so by repeating what the front camera sees. So you're basically seeing into the past right here. So what your front camera saw previously will be repeated under this screen. Transparent hood, you're never going to use it. Next is your parking sensors. You can turn them on and off here. You have traction control that you can turn on and off here, or off and on here because it's always on. You can turn on and off your electric off-roading, manual paddle shifter mode. You also have downhill speed regulation, and this will be your vehicle ride height. Now, This vehicle ride height only applies to the rear. Why is that, you might ask? Well, we are going to go to this button to find out. So this button right here brings you to this menu right here. And this will be your quick access menu. So all of the functions you might need to get to quickly are going to be right here. We have, just like in your off-road menu, your traction control, the ability to raise the level of the car, parking sensors, but you also have some new ones, your interior motion sensor, your tow-away protection, and all settings. These two were on the other menu as well. But why does the raise level only raise the rear? This is standard, and this is raised. This 350E has a rear air lift to compensate for the extra weight of the battery pack. This is basically too much weight back in the rear for standard steel springs. But that's here on this menu. Also on this menu is your full settings panel. So we're going to do all settings in its own video. We have your self-parking system here, your 360 camera, and your parking assistance as well. And if you don't know how this works, I made a video on it, but basically when you're on the screen, if you drive past a parking space, it will show you to the right or to the left if there are any open spaces. From there, this screen will ask you to confirm, and then it will park into that space for you. But most people use this for the 360 camera. All right, so let's get to it. We can do all settings here, or if we hit home, we can go to all settings in the bottom corner right here. Because this is an MBUX 3.0 car, you have, instead of the 4 categories, you have 6. They're still pretty familiar, pretty similar to what you might have in an MBUX 2.0 car. What we have here is assistance, vehicle, light settings, system settings, app settings, and then info on the car itself. And info on the car itself is where I like to start because this is a built-in operator's manual. If you ever have any questions about the car and what it can do or what to do with the car, you can open this and it is very logically well thought out. You have different keywords under different letters, so you can see your emails or easy entry and exit or eco start and stop, whatever's under E. You have a quick start guide. This is just going to be little tips and tricks on what to do with the car, including setting up the Wi-Fi hotspot and figuring out what energizing comfort is for. And the best part about this is you have a built-in animation library. So you can actually scroll through, see different videos on different topics, and if you select it, if we have the right amount of data, we can display it in the car. And if we don't, you scan this QR code there with your own device and it displays the video right on your phone. So you can watch it, share it with people, and everything you have to do to get your question answered. It's all right there. You also have a detailed message explanation as well. So if you get any messages in your instrument cluster right here, you will be able to figure out what they mean under messages right here. It's a great function. That is under info, your built-in owner's manual. You also have system information where you can see your VIN number, your Bluetooth ID, and legal information as well. I love that symbol. Let's start from the top though. First of all, we have assistance, and assistance is going to be all of your car's autonomous features. Under driving, you have your Eco Assist. It's basically giving you some suggestions on how to save energy. You also have your downhill speed regulation. This is like an off-road cruise control. Under collision avoidance, you have your traction control you can turn on and off again. You also have your active brake assist and your blind spot assist. You can just turn blind spot on and off, but you can actually configure the sensitivity of your active brake assist, having it stop early, medium, or late. I say leave it on medium. Next, you have your attention assist. This keeps you awake. If you start to fall asleep, it's going to beep at you and tell you to get some coffee. And if you ever, I'll probably show it to you later, but you'll see this graph in your instrument cluster, and your car will basically keep a score as to how awake it thinks you are once you're driving. And if you run out of bars, your car thinks you are about to fall asleep, and it will start beeping at you and recommending you get coffee. Every time you dismiss it, it gets more sensitive. Next to that, you have your camera. That's basically to open your camera cover. And under parking, you actually have a few items. This is where you can toggle on and off the feature that displays different parking spaces in your rear view camera automatically. You can set your warning tones. So high volume, low volume. This is probably fine in the middle. You also have the ability to adjust your audio fade out if you want to go crazy. Turn it on when you're in reverse. Otherwise, leave that off. You also have your sensitivity for these warnings. You can have it warn you early for the rear and the front, or you can keep a standard warning, and you could toggle on and off your side warning here as well. And my favorite features, you have maneuvering assist. This category lets you turn on and off your close range braking. You also have a feature called drive away assist, which will slow you down if your car thinks that you're going to hit somebody at low speeds. And you have a warning for cross traffic in the rear. If you have all of these on, your car is going to be pretty cautious. So a sensible amount of caution is to turn off close range braking unless you've backed into somebody. This is my personal opinion and how I set it up, but you feel free to set up whatever works for you. And watch out. Next up, under the settings panel, we have the vehicle category. And these are all of your creature features. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So under vehicle, we have the driving. This is going to be your automatic gas station search. Notice no automatic charging station search here. You also have comfort. This will be your easy entry and exit if you want to move your seat and the steering wheel. Both have to be on. You have occupant protection. This is going to be your seatbelt reminder and your back seat reminder to make sure you don't forget your kids in the back seat. You also have open and close, and under here you have your acoustic lock. You can turn it on and off to have your car give you a little beep from the horn when it's locked. Automatic mirror folding. You can turn that on and off to have your mirrors fold when you lock the doors, and automatic door lock. Just so you know, none of our cars do the thing where if you walk away, the doors lock. Automatic door lock in this car means that when you start driving, the doors lock. I know it's not what you're used to if you're coming out of a Tesla or something, but that's how we do it. And you also have your vehicle protection. And this feature is great because if someone were to bump into you in a parking lot and drive off, this car would take pictures if you turn on collision photos. Make sure you know that it's not legal everywhere to have this on, so check your laws. But if it is on and your car detects damage, it will not only notify you with the collision notification service, but it will take a picture using your 360 camera. So this same camera that can see all around it can also let you know if one of these cars around you bumped into you. So that is the vehicle protection right there. And we take it one step further. If you want those pictures to be sent to you automatically, make sure you have the Mercedes app and make sure you select upload automatically and you scan this QR code. Once you scan that QR code, your Mercedes app will notify you directly of any collision incidents, and it will also take the pictures and send them to you directly. Great feature. And it's not available on every Mercedes. Just make sure you know that. And next up on vehicle is dynamic select. We were already here. This is where you can adjust your individual mode and you can adjust your off-road electric driving feature. So we're gonna make sure it's on. Engine's on again, as expected. That is vehicle settings. Next is light settings. Pretty easy here. You can turn on and off your daytime running lights. You can turn on and off your daytime running lights. You also have your exterior lighting delay. You can choose to have the exterior lights stay on for a certain amount of time after you lock your doors. Interior lighting as well, you can just have that on and off. You also have your locator lighting. If you hit unlock on your key, it's going to have the lights flash and stay on at night so you can find your car if that option's on. And then you have your ambient lighting as well. And this takes you to your ambient lighting page under comfort. Now, home settings, that's light. Under system settings, we have first and foremost the voice assistant. This is going to be where you can turn on and off your Hey Mercedes feature. Right now, it's off for this video. You also have your online voice control activation and proactivity. If you don't want your car to say welcome, whatever your name is, turn off profile activation and it won't do so. You also have the don't forget your phone reminder. I don't think anyone is upset about that at all, but it's there to turn on and off as needed. You also have the ability to turn on and off suggestions, and you can also choose what information it will try and learn from and recommend to you. And you could also reset your suggestion history as well, just right from here, just in case it's recommending bad stuff to you. You also have your display settings where you can choose your brightness, your on and off. You can do your preferred style, be it zero layer or classic. And you also can turn on and off your graphical goodies. These are little bits that they do for holidays. If you ever see 4th of July theme, Christmas theme, Thanksgiving theme, basically Mercedes will celebrate whatever holidays are popular in your region by adding little bits of flair throughout the car. It's a cute little thing. I do not mind it at all. I think it's cute. You also can choose your units here under displays, be it miles or wrong miles. You also have your speedometer here, or an additional speedometer, just in case you cross the border a lot and you need to see kilometers. You can choose your language here. And just so you know, the first four options actually work with the voice control. The lower options do not, even though the Portuguese Hey Mercedes is pretty funny. So I'll show you. We'll switch it to Italian. Hey Mercedes. Hello.
Please repeat.
So we're in Italian. It's still in English. We're going to go to Portuguese. Hello. Hi.
Você pode repetir?
So as you can see, that one is in Portuguese. We'll try Chinese. What's the weather today?
Today there will be thunderstorms in Pinellas Park with temperatures between 79 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
So as you can see, not every language works. But that's okay. Next up, which we're going to, I guess, switch it back to English real quick so I don't get confused. You have your keyboard choice, which you can also choose different languages for your keyboard. It won't change your voice controls language, though. And you also have a built-in dictionary that you can reset. You have the sensitivity of your control inputs. You also have the ability to turn on and off that click feature, or you can make it louder if you want. So if you want, it's going to drive someone crazy eventually. We'll set it to normal. Under audio, you can just choose your different audio settings for your entertainment, your voice output during a call, your ringtone volume, and your Parktronic. Most of these, except for Parktronic, you can just adjust with the built-in volume adjuster right here. But of course, Parktronic, you can't adjust your volume there. You can only adjust it here or under assistance. You have your internet and Bluetooth. This is mostly so you can turn on and off your Bluetooth module in the car or turn off your Wi-Fi module in the car. If you're experiencing CarPlay interruption, always check there, turn that off. Then you have your data protection, basically a system pin that you can turn on and off. Time and date adjustments. You have automatic time zone in this car, though. Automatic software updates as well, but you can check and see if they are turned on and off in this menu. And you can do a full system reset here. So that's system settings in a nutshell. Next up is apps, and this is going to be where you can manage and configure the apps that you might download if you have the in-car app pass, or just an e-class if you roll like that. Right now, the only one here is Vivaldi. You can't delete it. This is the car's built-in internet browser, and Vivaldi is like a blast from the past if you remember having a 2G phone, basically. That was like the browser that came on your flip phone back in the day. But you can choose the storage, delete the cache, and all of that stuff. And this is also where you can delete this app. It's strange that this is its own app, but you can manage permissions if there are any, and you can turn all of that on and off and see its notifications from here. And then we already did info. That's the settings panel in a nutshell. I like it. It's not too complicated. More on Vivaldi. If you hit home, you slide over, Vivaldi's right there. This is going to, again, be the car's built-in browser. And because this car does not have the app pass or the data package, there's not really much you can do here. You have a couple of hotspots that you can check. In theory, you can watch videos in here. I know for a fact Netflix doesn't work, though. And right now, nothing's going to work because there's no internet. Just so you know, up in the top corner up here, there's a 5G. Let's see if we can zoom in. And here on this 5G, if you hit this, it then brings you out to where you can choose your data plan. It says right now data plan is online, but that just means that we have service. There's still nothing here for you to connect to. So if you wanted to use your phone as a hotspot, you can hit select internet access. Make sure you turn on Bluetooth tethering. You'll see it appear here in this device list. If you want to use the data plan, just select that. Right now, though, as you can see, nothing is happening. The only place it will really take you is to this T Systems. This is the landing page if you wanted to turn on your in-vehicle hotspot. And you would just hit register. From there, they want you to type in all of this information. At the end of typing in this information, you check this and you hit create account. Once you do that, you check your email and they're going to take you to the place where you give them money. After you give them money, it's about $240 for the year or $26.50 a month for the unlimited data plan. Be real, only get unlimited. After that, you will have in-car hotspot, fully active. And it's through T-Mobile. I trust them more than Verizon. They've been good to me. Thank you, Deutsche Telekom. But you can't do anything with Vivaldi until you turn on your hotspot. That's the moral of the story. And that is the infotainment in a nutshell. Make sure you are signed in. If you're not signed in, up here, which let's zoom. Also, if you ever see this banner right here, just tap that real quick. You extend the amount of time your car stays on. But up here, it might not always be a frog for you. You can select this, and this is your Mercedes profile. And this is where you can pause your suggestions. You can go into different profile settings. You can access your setup assistant and change your image or your name or really whatever else you want. You can also turn on and off your access protection here. I always recommend keeping it off unless you really want to use your fingerprint reader down here. But you can turn that on and off, and you can also define your fingerprints or delete them, just in case you cut your fingers and it no longer works. You also have your profile synchronization. This will synchronize your profile with the Mercedes app. So all that is up here, little profile icon. You can log out and select your different users as well. Just one account here. But that's that one. I want to now move on to your instrument cluster. Alright, so we're going to be running through the instrument cluster real quick. Just know everything you do with this right here, which you should be using your thumb, I guess. It's a little weird to use this. This part of your steering wheel will change what you see on this screen right here. And if you hit the home button, you will actually see a breakdown of your different screens. You have a sport display, classic, navigation, assistance, and off-road screen with, again, a better compass. And you also have your service screen. Now, one thing is missing. We no longer have understated for some strange reason. Don't know why. It's just disappointing. But service is where you go first and foremost to see your tire pressure and temperature. And if you get a flag saying that your tire pressure is out of whack, what you can do is you can just push OK once and reset your tire pressure. You just want to make sure you hit use current pressures as the reference value. We can reset it at any time. It restarts the monitor. It'll also show you when you're due for service and any warnings you might get, which you can see in your built-in owner's manual as well. So that is your assistance screen. If you hit back, it takes you back to your main display. And if you slide up and down, you have your navigation, your audio, attention assist meter. This is where it keeps track of how awake it thinks you are. You also have your consumption, both in gas and hybrid form. And you also have an eco display and your trip calculators as well. From start is calculated at the start of each day. And from reset is just kept with this bottom number or the top number on your odometer. And from reset is just mirrored from this top number on your odometer right here. If you hit OK and you reset this, then the from reset, unfortunately, it doesn't reset automatically, but this is basically keeping track of all of that data. So it's best to reset them both at the same time. Next up, under home, you have a sports screen. This basically does nothing, but it looks cool. You'll see your revving, your G-force, your RPMs, horsepower and torque breakdown, and apparently this car can make up to negative 140 horsepower, negative 370 foot-pounds of torque. I guess the maximum horsepower is 330, of course. Sounds about right for this car. Back brings us back, and you also have your navigation, your assistance. This is going to be basically what your car's sensors see. Navigation is what it sounds like. It's going to be a full screen map. You can use OK to slide up and down, to zoom in and out. Doesn't go that far out, does it? I'll take you out to the state. That's about as far as we can go. It'd be cool if it showed the weather too. Might be distracting, but that's here. And then these are all of your displays basically. I really misunderstated. Let's bring it back to our main screen now. Last things to know on the hardware front: wipers, twisting, automatic mode is the 3 dots, otherwise it's off. But that's your instrument cluster. And that brings us to the end of this presentation in general. Again, this was just supposed to be a walkthrough on how to use the various features in this car. So I hope this helps with new owners or people considering this as a model. It's very easy to live with. It's not too much tech for the sake of tech. It's just the right amount, and realistically, most of you are going to use CarPlay anyway. But if you want to use a good system, give this a shot. It's really good, really responsive. Only a few downsides, mostly with the radio, and it makes up for it with the tech that does work and the overall experience of driving this really, really nice car. Please stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for tuning in. Take care.
Lord Sky on the beat.
Get this screen clean.